reflexes for pediatric infants in months 3, 4, and 5. Okay. So integrating around month 3 would be the rooting reflex, so that in months 0, 1, and 2, then if I stroke the perioral area, then the infant's head will turn towards. And so this is used in breastfeeding, so that if the nipple strokes the infant's side, then they'll turn, and that would be a self-help for feeding. After month 3 and the infant wants to breastfeed and they turn their head, it's because they figured out that's where the food is and that's where they need to go. At 4 months, you will see an integration of the palmar grasp. That infants have that palmar grasp to start with, and they're often fisted, and infants are born with their thumb indwelling inside the fist. But at 4 months, this, if you touch inside the palm and you put a little pressure, then they'll close their hand down on it and they'll hold tight. That's the palmar grasp. The reason that it integrates and relaxes at 4 months is because the infant can reach out, open their hand, reach out, get something, and grab it when they want to. So they're no longer, as soon as something touches their hand, they don't close up anymore. They're able to open their hand when they want to. And so you've got another one that is called a Moro. Okay, so in the Moro, for 0 birth through 4 months, that if you drop the infant's head back, if you're about to lay the infant down and you drop their head back first, about 1.5 inches, then all of a sudden the upper extremities will go, woo, and then they'll come back. It's like it's like it scared them, but that position sense, what causes the Moro to activate is the head dropping backwards. Then the arms go up, and then they come back to center. And that will, the head lag, it stops about month 4. So when the baby can lay down and have great head control, then all of a sudden it doesn't drop back as much, but that reaction also integrates at 4 to 4 months for the Moro. Okay. At the same time, you give a little traction response, okay? So the infant is in supine, and then when you give them a little traction response, their arms will kind of circle around and get tight and bend and kind of give you a little back. They're not like spaghetti noodle arms that just keep going. They're kind of tight, and then the infant will sit up. And at 4 months, then all of a sudden you have great head control. That's also one of the reasons that babies under 4 months, that you usually have your hand behind their neck when you're laying them down, because they don't quite have that head control when they come up, but at 4 months they do. Okay. So that is a traction or a pull to sit. Some places have traction as just the arm part, and then pull to sit as the head coming up without having any bobble. At 5 months, the asymmetrical tonic neck reflex begins to integrate. And so prior to that, if the infant turns her head, then the eyes and the hand will go in the same direction. So the arm that is in the looking side goes into extension, and the opposite arm will go up into flexion in kind of a fencing, like they're going to do sword fights in fencing. You'll also notice that the opposite leg may flex, that it's a total body reaction. The leg is often more subtle than the arm. And so if the infant wants to turn their head, in order to roll. At 4 months, that ATNR is still working, and so the head turns, the arm extends, it acts as a kickstand, and the infant can go from supine to sideline, but they can't go all the way over to prone because they're stuck on that arm. By 5 months, when that reflex is integrated and they roll on their side, then all of a sudden, then they can continue to roll. You'll notice that that's a 6-month milestone to be able to roll from supine and keep going. So that's an important one there.